Hi, this is TapCat, and today I'd like to talk to you about the best build and equipment for your Sharpshooter in XCOM 2. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because I've already recorded one where we talked about a gunslinger build, which I admit is my favorite and recommended build. However, I acknowledged at the time that a long-range sniper is a very popular option in XCOM, and admittedly, it's also very effective. So we're going to go ahead and run through what I would consider to be a good build for one. And we will start with this. Now, when we talked about the gunslinger, I actually took long watch over return fire, even though it's in the sniper tree. If I did it for a gunslinger, as you might imagine, I'm definitely taking it for a sniper. Now, Deadeye versus Lightning Hands, little different situation. At high level, Deadeye is very useful at dealing more damage to your enemies. But in the early game, you really don't have enough aim to get over the hump. This thing puts an aim penalty of 25% against your shot. And the result is it's really dead weight for a long time if you take it now. So what I recommend is that you actually take Lightning Hands when you're initially leveling up. It will help you get some extra damage in a fair amount of the time. Then later, once you've accumulated enough aim to get good with Deadeye, maybe you have the PCS to help you, you've got a good scope. At that point in time, respec using the Advanced Warfare Center into Deadeye. Death from Above is a solid utility power. It's going to give you a free action anytime you manage to kill an enemy and you're at a higher elevation than it was. Now, unfortunately, that's not going to allow you to take a second rifle shot, so it is somewhat limited. However, it gives you a chance to reload or move to a better position. And given the fact that doing either of those things with the first action of your turn keeps you from firing at all, it really is pretty useful. And I would say it's more or less a key facilitator of being able to play the sniper class effectively and keep doing damage every turn. Killzone is one of the reasons you take a long-range sniper in the first place. It will allow you to take a reaction shot at every single enemy that moves within a very large cone-shaped area. If you really want to have fun with it, activate it before you set off an ambush, and you'll get shots not just on your turn, but on the alien's turn if any of them are left alive. Wonderful ability. Take it, and you'll fall in love with it too. Steady hands versus aim. Aim, again, is terrible because it involves hunkering down every other turn. That's ridiculous. Long-range sniper will often not move, and so steady hands is a really natural fit. Getting a boost to your aim and even a small chance at a critical hit, well worth taking. Serial will allow you to keep firing your rifle as long as each time is a kill shot. Now, the thing about that is realize that by the time you're Colonel, especially on Legend, you will face very few enemies that will be killed by a single rifle shot. So to make this good, you need to invest some energy into setting it up. Use your specialist and maybe, a grenadier to weaken one or more aliens, so that you can start taking multiple shots. Just don't get too ambitious, because remember that all it takes is one miss or one hit that isn't lethal, and the chain will be broken. So you want to have some of your squad left over to try to finish those enemies off. Otherwise, the alien turn can get very ugly for you. Nonetheless, even if you only get 2 shots off with this, that's very good. 2 sniper rifle shots, that's a lot better than a sharp stick in the eye, as I always say. All right, we've talked about the abilities. Let's go ahead and talk about gear. Now, I have recommended the expanded magazine and the scope for most of the classes, but I usually will give you some alternatives, some other things to consider if you can't get enough. I'm going to tell you, when it comes to a long-range sniper, that's not the case. You need the best scope you can get. You need the best expanded magazine you can get. Period. Don't settle for anything else. Why do I say this? Okay, the scope should be obvious. You need accuracy. You want your sniper to be 100% chance to hit. And even when you use Deadeye, as much as possible, you want to be at 100% or as close as you can get. Expanded magazine, slightly different situation, but because a reload costs an action, and once you reload, if you need to, you can't shoot. You can't shoot your rifle that turn. Also, the fact that Killzone can use a lot of ammo up in one burst, and you aren't necessarily starting with a full magazine when you activate that ability. So if there's 4 or 5 enemies on the field that you have a chance to shoot at, you don't want to be hobbled by having a magazine with a capacity of 3 and you already used one of your rounds. Okay, that's going to make for a terrible kill zone. So just put top priority on getting a scope and expanded magazine for your sniper. PCS, similarly, no flexibility here, no second choice. You want aim. You want the best aim PCS you can get. And finally, your loadout. As a general rule, most of the ammo types work pretty well for a sniper. At low levels, I would actually suggest tracer rounds to help you approach 100%. But as you level up, as you get these other things that we've talked about, you won't need to lean on tracer rounds anymore. In that instance, AP rounds would probably be my top pick. Dragon rounds, also good. Venom rounds, another solid choice. So you do have some flexibility there. Now for the second slot, we are not going to go for a Mimic Beacon. We're going to do something completely different. We're actually going to swap out the Predator armor and instead bring a spider suit. Now the primary reason we're taking the spider suit is the grappling hook. The nice thing about the hook is if you don't have a good line of sight at your preferred target, you can move and still be able to shoot your rifle that turn. This is really the sniper's Achilles heel, and being able to mitigate that even a little bit is very helpful. All right, if you've made it this far, then hopefully you found this video helpful. If so, please give it a like so other people can find it too. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I hope we see you next time.